As we are holding not too long before Rosh Hashana, I'd like to share with you a couple of thoughts and ideas on the upcoming Yomim Noraim to try to get ourselves a little bit into the mood. Be'ezus Hashem b'siyata d'shmaya. Rav Elyashiv Zatzal once asked, why is it that we're just not scared for Yomim Noraim? We've all heard the stories, the fish in the sea are quivering, and people in Poland, even the Goyim knew it was Elul. What's the pshat that we lost the whole thing? Where's it gone? Where are we holding? What's happening? So Rav Elyashiv gave a mashal, and he said as follows. He says, if there was a tiger on the street, if there was a lion on the street, the olim would go mishiga. That everyone will be tittering, everyone will be mamish scared. So what's the pshat? Says Rav Elyashiv. Why, a person can go to the zoo and he can stand right in front of the lion and start, yeah, how you doing? Screaming up and down and everything. No problem. It's okay. He's not scared. He's fine. What's the reason? So Rav Elyashiv Zatzal explained, it's by the cage. Obviously you're not scared, it's by the cage, right? So it can't get out. So Rav Elyashiv Zatzal wanted to say that's what's going on. He wanted to say, of course, Yomim Noraim be'etzem is a very, very scary time. Our lives are hanging like a thread. We're holding on for our dear lives. We're not scared. You know why? It's in a cage. It's going to be over soon. Soon it will be Simchas Torah. We'll forget all about the Yomim Noraim. We can go back to regular life, and everything is gavaldik. And that is what we have to try and fix up. That's what we have to try and figure out and try to rectify, to try and get a little bit of a feeling of the Yom Noraim, especially when you walk into a davening on a Rosh Hashana, whether it's a Mariv, whether it's a Shachris or a Mincha, Musaf, whatever it is, just to try and get a bit into the mood, try to feel the feelings of what's going on. The Gemara tells us in Rosh Hashanah Tazayin that on the day of Rosh Hashanah, there are Shloisha Svarim Niftachim be Rosh Hashanah, there are three Svarim, three books that are open on Rosh Hashanah. One, the Gemara tells us, is for the Rishoim Gemurim, the bad guys. One is for the Tzadikim Gemurim. One is for the Beinanim. So the Gemara says that Tzadikim are written immediately for a good life, for Chaim, for life. The Rishoim are written in that book. And the Beinanim are Tuluyim Ba'imdim. They're hanging and waiting to see what's going on. So, the question is asked, I don't understand. If we're Beinanim, which most of us are, so why can't the Rabbanim should be Dolikav Schos? Tip the scales one way. If we're basically in the middle, we're not a tzaddik, we're not a Rasha, we're somewhere in between, little grey area. Why can't the Rabbanim just say, all right, Mr. will be Gavaldik? So the Pnei Menachem is quoted as answering this question b'shem the Imrei Emes, and he said like this. He said, if Rosh Hashanah would have been in the middle of the year, then you're absolutely right. If bang smack in the middle of the year there'd be a Rosh Hashanah, then you're 100% right. The Rabbanim should say, listen, what do you want? My dear Yankala, he's trying to be good. Doesn't always work out. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll be okay. We'll put him in the Sifrei Achayim, in the Sifrei Tzadikim. Says the Pnei Menachem Hashem the Imrei Emes, the Ger Rebbe, but if Lemaisa we have a metzias of what we have now, that Rosh Hashanah doesn't just show up at our doorstep. Rosh Hashanah is preceded by an Elul, with the beginning of Slichas, with an air of Rosh Hashanah. There's a whole height, there's a whole matzah, there's a way to get there, and you're still holding a Beinani. Oh, now we're going to have to wait to see Taka if you change your ways and you improve where you're holding to make sure that you accomplish what you need to accomplish. So we know that on Rosh Hashanah, Adam HaRishon was created, as I state in Chazal. Adam HaRishon was created, and on the same day he was judged. And the Torah says a very important word, a word which is a game changer in Rosh Hashanah. And that is, the Torah says that when the Rabbeinu Shalom was calling for Adam, the Lashon over there in the Torah is Ayeka, where are you? Right, the Rebbeinu was Kaviyachol trying to find out where Adam HaRishon was. Rashi says that, of course he knew where he was. It was a way of speech, it was the way of trying to get him into the conversation. But at the end of the day, Ayaka is a Gavaldik Yesod. The Baal HaTanya writes that every single day there's a bas kol that goes out to say, Ayaka, where are you? Where are you holding in this world? Where are you holding in your purpose of creation and your mission of why you were sent down to this world? Ayeka was the question that Adam HaRishon got. Where are you? Where are you holding? And that's the question that's called to every single one of us, especially on a Rosh Hashanah, Tchilas Hashana, Yom Adin. The Rebbeinu Shalom says, Ayeka, where are you? Where are you holding? Why did I send you down to this world? What's the purpose? What are you doing here? Says the Mesilas Yesharim, in your world, you weren't sent for somebody else's world. You were sent for your own personal mission. And Rosh Hashanah is the day that opens up our eyes. And it opens up our eyes of an understanding exactly where are we holding. The whole year we're busy, we don't have time, we're rolling around in the dirt. And comes one day when we coronate the Rabbeinu Shalom as the Melech Malchei Amlochim, and we beg for the Rabbeinu Shalom to be Mechadish the world with us in it. And the question is, Ayeka, where are we? Where are we holding? What are we doing? Are we accomplishing? Is there a purpose for the Rabbeinu Shalom to keep us still alive? Or are we just here for the sake of it? What are we doing here? What is the difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur is a whole different day. But what's really the difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? So now if you have a house that you need to demolish, there are two ways of doing it. You could take a hammer, or you could take some big, you could take these big balls out there and you start smashing away at the walls and the windows, and eventually this will smash down and that will smash down until eventually you've crushed and you've demolished the entire house. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, which is perhaps for a house which is a little bit stronger, a little bit hard to deal with in a regular way, is you go to the foundations. Get straight to the core of the structure, straight to the foundations of the building, start smashing away at that, and what happens? The whole thing collapses. That's the difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, what we're doing is we're pounding away, Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Al Chet, we're pounding away at the building itself. We're pounding away at ourselves and our lives and our actions and our thoughts, everything we've done over the last year that we need to improve on. We're banging away at the building. But Rosh Hashanah is a whole different avodah. Rosh Hashanah is going to the foundations. It's going to the very essence of who we are and what we represent. And that's why it's a day that we have to understand what we're doing here and what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants from us. If I would tell you, and this is something to think about in our avodah of Rosh Hashanah, if I would tell you that, there's a lot of beaches in the world, there's a lot of sand, right? I don't think there's a scientific explanation of exactly how much sand, how many pebbles, how many exactly pieces of sand there are, but there's a lot of sand out there. If I would tell you that there's a beach somewhere in the world where you've got two little pebbles, two little pieces of sand, and they're having a fight with each other, how is that going to change your life? How is that going to affect you? Zero. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't bother me. What do you mean there's an ocean out there somewhere where there's two fish? They're having an argument. They have shalom bayis problems. Is it going to bother you? It doesn't bother me. Some fish in the middle of nowhere. What do I care? How does it affect me? Rabbi said to the Rabbeinu Shalom, we're exactly the same. We're two little pebbles of sand. We're two little fish in the ocean. But the Rabbeinu Shalom cares. The Rabbeinu Shalom loves every single one of us. And the Rebbeinu Shalom wants to see us closer to him. It bothers him. It bothers him. It doesn't bother us if two strands are arguing with each other, but it does bother the Rebbeinu Shalom if we're not where we're holding. That's the avodah. That's the avodah. However small and what you think insignificant you are, it's not true. Because every person is an olam moli. Every person is a full world, and every single person has the opportunity to become closer, to become better, and the Rebbeinu Shalom waits, and he's waiting for you, and he wants it. It bothers him. Where's my Yankala? Where is he? He hasn't done tshuva yet. He hasn't gone closer yet. He hasn't been mekabel on himself anything yet. That's what it is. That's what Rosh Hashanah is. L'David Hashem oiri v'yishi. We've been saying it already. Hopefully we tried to understand a little bit of what we're saying. What does it mean? L'David Hashem oiri v'yishi. So there's a medrash in Vayikra Rabbah where the medrash says, oiri my light, zu Rosh Hashanah. Yishi, my salvation, zu Yom Kippurim. Okay, So I understand Yishi, my salvation, Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a salvation for Klal Yisrael, where we improve ourselves, we get a clean slate. Gavaldik. What's Oiri? Rosh Hashanah. What's the connection? What is this Oiri business? Where's the connection between Oiri and Rosh Hashanah? And the answer is a Gavaldik Yesoid. And that is, Rosh Pinkus brings the mashal. He says of a villager, this villager never saw something that you probably also never saw. A cinema. He had no idea what this was. This dark room with seats. I'm just going to explain it to you. A dark room with seats. Sometimes they go in like a level and people are eating popcorn and there's like a big screen over there and it's dark and everyone's just got their eyes glued to the screen, accomplishing nothing in this world at that moment of time. And a guy goes in there and he sees, what are these people doing? This is ridiculous. It's dark here. Why these people sitting in a dark room makes no sense. So he takes out his trusty flashlight and he starts flashing it on the screen. And everyone's like, no, hefsuk, we're in the middle. You're interrupting. Just at the best part. And he's like, I don't understand, but why are you sitting in a dark room? Because the light reveals the MS. The light reveals what's really there, what's behind the darkness. And Oiri says, this is what it is. Vayikra Rabbah, the Medrash tells us this. Again, L'David Hashem, Oiri v'ishi, Oiri zu Rosh Hashanah. Why? Why is Rosh Hashanah Oiri my light? Because it sheds light to the rest of the year. The whole year we're in darkness. The whole year we're living and we're going through life almost like an autopilot. You press the button, bang, and off you go. Shachris, Mincha, Mariv, Dafayom Mishe, I'm Yaitza, I've done everything Kavaldik, I'm a great Yid. What do you mean? Rabbi, what do you want from me? What are you giving me this mussar for? I do everything great. I'm amazing. I learn a bit. I make brachot before I eat. Birchat Hamazon. I do netilat yadayim. I'm a great Yid. What do you want? You're living your life like an autopilot. You never shed the light on the sheker, on the non-truth. And that's what Rosh Hashanah is. Oiri means my light. Because you open up on Rosh Hashanah and you realize, Rebbeinu Shalom, who's running the world? Who's running the world? Who created the world? Who's the Melech, Malchei HaMelachim? Who's making the world continue? Who created me? And why? What am I doing in this world? And that's all what it is. Rabbi said the most important part before we get to Rosh Hashanah is the following. People often say, I'm not perfect and I'm never going to be perfect, so what's the point? We get to Rosh Hashanah, make a Kabbalah, right? Make a Kabbalah, B'li Neder. We all know what happens, right? Day after Yom Kippur, we're back to normal. Slach lo lavinu kichatonu. We said about 10 seconds after Ne'ilah finishes. What's happening? We go back to regular life. We're human beings. What do you want? We go back to regular life. But the problem is, that's what we cannot be this way. It has to be that we change. It has to be that we take upon ourselves something to accept, to become better. And we're telling the Rabbeinu Shalom the following. You know what we're telling the Rabbeinu Shalom? Rabbeinu Shalom, I want to be perfect. It might take me 800 years. Like, according to my plan, if I do a little bit every day or a little bit every month, it might take me 800 years and I'll probably die. I'll beat the statistics. I will die before I become perfect. But you know what? I'm on the way. I tried. I did something. And it's true that the Rabbeinu Shalom may take me away and eventually I won't be here anymore. But according to my plan, I'm going to be perfect. That's why people, by the way, fail with the small things. What's going to happen? Well, I say Ashayatza after davening or after my bathroom. So all of a sudden I'm a different Yid. I decided to take on Negelwasser. I'm a different Yid. I'm being makban on 26 on during the day. I'm a different Yid. The answer is, first of all, yes, you are a different Yid. And even without that, every small thing that you do, every tiny thing that you do is one step closer to perfection. And you're coming into a Rosh Hashanah, showing the Rabbeinu Shalom, I want to be different. And my suggestion to every single one is to have a piece of paper in your machzah or in your pocket of your suit, and that will have your little Kabbalah. And you show up to Rosh Hashanah, you come to davening with your machzah, with everything, all your preparations, and you got your suit because we're B'teich B'din and we're not worried. But you come into Yom Tov with a Kabbalah. And you say, Rabbeinu Shalom, here I am. I'm walking into a Rosh Hashanah. And Mitzvah Hashem, I'll try to daven, I'll try to be mamlech, the Rabbeinu Shalom, with everything I need to do. But at the end of the day, I've got my small little Kabbalah with me. And that shows that I want to be better. And that shows not just I want to be better, but I've done something. I've accomplished something. I want to tell you a Moed Kazach from the Mishkan. Take the calculation. I don't know how many people have made this calculation from the Oren of the Mishkan. The Oren was a tefach thick, right? The Gemara in Sukkot Daf Hey Daman Aleph goes through the whole calculation, right? The thickness of the Oren for the cover was 1 tefach. How much is that? About 10 centimeters, let's say. The Oren itself was 1.5 amos wide and 2 amos long. Okay, the Rambam says that in Hilchot Beis HaBechira that an amma is 6 tefachim. That means that the cover had approximately 110,000 cubic centimeters of pure gold. The weight of 1 cubic centimeter of gold is approximately 20 grams. Okay, Rabbi, so those of you that are following the math, the cover of the Mishkan, of the Oren, weighed 4,000 kilograms, over 4 tons. Okay, that's pretty heavy. Add the weight of the kruvim, which were made from a piece of pure gold, and the wings span the entire width of the cover of the Oren. So you're talking about at least double the weight of the cover of the Oren. You got the kruvim. Now add the weight of the bottom of the Oren, which Chazal tell us, Rashi and Yuma, was made of a gold of a tefach thick of pure gold. And then there was the gold that covered the walls of the outer boxes of the Oren, which according to the Placey in Yeridea Mem Gimel says was about 8 millimeters thick, which doesn't even come to take into consideration the luchos of the broken ones and the second set of luchos. Add together everything, it comes out, Rabbi said, that we can make an approximation that the Oren was about 8 tons. How many Leviim carried the Oren? 4. 4 Leviim carried the Oren. Rabbi say, is that possible? How do 4 Leviim carry 8 tons of weight? Doesn't make any sense. You know what the answer is? The answer is Poshet. The Gemara in Saita. The Gemara says in Saita, Lamed Hey, Noise es Noisov. They tried. They did their part. And it carried them. Our job on Rosh Hashanah, it's an impossible job to become perfect. It's impossible. We can't do it. We're not going to be perfect. We're not perfect people. That's not our job. Our job is just to try. Our job is just to try and carry something. Because when you try and carry something, it carries you. And it will carry you a long way. Let me end with one gewaldige Meise. There was a boy who wanted to buy a present for his father. A boy wanted to buy a present for his father. And he didn't know what to buy, but he knew his father loved donuts. He knew his father was donuts, jam, jelly, whatever. The flavor, he knew his father loves donuts. You know what? On the way back from school, he's going to buy his father a donut. He's going to buy his father a donut. So he saves up some money. He's a young kid. On the way home, on the walk home, goes to the bakery, and he finds and picks out the perfect donut. He knows his father will be so happy. He never normally buys donuts only Hanukkah time. It's the middle of the year. His father's going to be overjoyed. Look at my son. Look what he got. He bought this donut, put it in a little box, starts carrying it home. And as he gets home, he said, I'm a bit hungry. I also like donuts. I guess it's inherited. It's a Yerusha. I also like donuts. And this is my favorite flavors. Well, I'll take a bite. So he takes a bite. Then he says, how can I do that? That's my father's donut. How can I do such a thing? Okay, he puts it back in the box. Walks a few more blocks. Picks up the donut again. Eats another one. Tries again. Third time. Third bite. By the time he gets there, there's 4 or 5 bites to be eaten from it. But then he decides, that's it. He's taking it upon himself. I'm not taking any more. Comes home and says, Dad, I bought you a present. Wow. Like this, son. What'd you buy me? I bought you a donut. Wow, that's so nice of you. That's so amazing. Thank you so much. He opens up the box. He sees 4 bites, 5 bites taken from it. But there's still a donut there. Which father's going to be upset with his son? He's going to be upset with his son? Or he's going to say, look what you bought me. Yeah, you've bitten a few, but look what you bought me. Rabbi say, often we look at ourselves and we think, we've done this Aveira, we've fallen, we've sunken down. The Rabbeinu Shalom is going to look at us and say, what's the matter with you? Look at where you're holding. But take the donut that's got some bites in it, that the father knows the son enjoyed. And he stopped himself, and he tried. And he tried to keep it as whole as possible. And the Rabbeinu Shalom loves that. He loves the effort. He loves the trying that you do. Rabbi said, this Rosh Hashanah, Be'ezah Hashem, let's make it a different Rosh Hashanah. Let's make it a different Rosh Hashanah to every other Rosh Hashanah where we just walked in and said, yeah, Rabbi Shalom, we're going to be better. More than that, we're going to be makabel on ourselves something. We're going to be makabel on ourselves something very small. We're going to try. Just like the Levium managed to carry 8 tons, we're going to manage to carry ourselves throughout the year with the small Kabbalah that we take upon ourselves. The Siyata Deshmaya, the Rabbeinu Shalom, with the small Kabbalah will give us all tremendous Siyata Deshmaya. He'll see our efforts. He'll notice what we try. He wants us just to do a little bit of ishtadlus, a little bit of try. Be'ezah Hashem, if he does that, the Rabbeinu Shalom will give us all a chasimus and a tova and a get gebenshel.